According to Reuters, the Nepal Telecommunications Authority (NTAA) has ordered a ban on the Battle Royale game PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, saying that the game's addictive nature and its potentially violent influence on children are to blame for the decision. Reuters reports that an order has been given to all internet service providers, mobile operators, and network service providers to block streaming of the game, starting today. While the authority says that the game's violent content and its negative impact on children is to blame, the same report from Reuters notes that there had been no reported violent incidents related to the game. And Deputy Director Sandeep Hikari says that concerns from parents about children being distracted from studies and other responsibilities into the decision as well. Nepal is not the first country to cite addiction and impose limitations on games like PUBG. A handful of cities in India banned the game last month and reportedly arrested 20 people in violation of the ban, though one of the three cities has now rolled back the ban. China, meanwhile, has been strengthening regulations on online games for some time, causing companies like Tencent to implement facial recognition check and verification systems that run player names against China's public security database to ensure children do not exceed government-mandated playtime restrictions. The game makers, organizers of the 2019 Game Developers Conference Airplays Tour, announced that scheduling for the all-new DD mentoring program is now live and ready for you to use. This is a brand new program intended to help encourage game development professionals to continue and grow in their personal careers. And you can take advantage of it. Try to now be logging into the DD Connect matchmaking tool and selecting a mentoring session type that meets your needs. Mentors, comprised of seasoned professionals across all sections of the industry, will be matched with you via the system, and meetings will take place in the DD Mentoring Lounge located in the South Hall Expo, £2 Keys for 6th. Session formats include available tour summits, conference summits, conference all-access pass holders, available tour expo plus pass holders, to allow as many DD attendees as possible to participate in the program. Only one session selection may be made. New sessions will be added each week prior to DD, so check back in for more options. Continue planning out while your GDC 2019 experience via the official 2019 schedule builder, which continues to add new talks every week. Bring your team to DD, register a group of 10 or more and save 10% on conference passes. Learn more. For more details on GDC 2019 visit the show's official website, or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, OS. Gamasutra and DD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. They are exhausting and stressful, but I bloody love a good game show. Of course, there's a lot to consider when you are organizing your own booth. It can be overwhelming. So here's what I have learned from expos so far to prepare smoothly and get the most benefit from showing your game. First off, what is it that you want to achieve from showing your game at an expo? Player feedback, press coverage, brand awareness, sales. I strongly believe that for an indie game developer, short-term sales from individual visitors should not be the primary goal of displaying your game at a show. Just before exhibiting at Tokyo Game Show last year, I took part in a very useful trade show initiative workshop with the DIT. The two lecturers were shocked that I was not tracking sales, because I did not see it as a goal. I learned something pretty useful that day: how to track conversion. rates and activity during an expo. But I still stand by my original opinion despite that. To me, there's a lot more potential in longer-term, indirect sales achieved through good press coverage, and this deeper brand awareness should be what we are gunning for. But I did take the advice I learned, and I pushed individual sales and tracked them too. I was on Tokyo Game Show with my leaflets like a ninja. Apparently people are pretty hot on QR codes in Japan. So I made sure to use lots of QR codes, linking to our star page on all our marketing literature. How many scans did I track? 9 scans from the 2,000 leaflets we handed out. On top of this, our sales really did not change considerably during our time at the show, and definitely not enough to cover our exhibition costs. However, a few days after the show, Famitsu and Fargamer published interviews with us, and our sales increased 530%. It was a huge sales spike that paid for the show and left plenty of profit to spare. But more important than that, we made an impression in Japan, and got our foot in the door. So with that in mind, do not think of the little sales, think big. On average, 75% of visitors at an exhibition will come with a short list of specific booths in mind to see. The most important part of exhibition marketing starts long before the show in order to entice these visitors. So, we need to reach out to your potential players, established fans, plus YouTubers and journalists, and maybe distributors or publishers. Here's a few ideas how. This is especially important if you are hiring interpreters, temporary booth staff, or recruiting volunteers. Prepare yourself on your stuff before the show, particularly the last 2 points for everyone. 90% of business secured from a show results from follow-up working the immediate days after. Hopefully you are keeping records of your leads, right? Make sure to divide them into a hot, B1, and C cold. Contact us within 48 hours. The best results come from follow-ups made within 5 days. Personalize your email to them, and jog their memory of who you are by reminding them of your conversation and offering them a code or something nice and special. The best graphics attract attention and convey your message instantly. A visitor should be able to understand what you are offering in 3 seconds, the time it takes them to walk by your booth. Keep this rule in mind when you are designing your banner, as this could be your one chance to grab your audience. Keep your branding consistent and make your graphics bold and eye-catching with simple messaging. Do not overuse text on your banner. The less you can use, the better. Just your title and maybe a subheading. Some might add a call to action. But at this stage, we are just trying to attract initial interest. We can use flyers for the details. I highly recommend getting some leaflets printed for your stand. Because, 1. You are going to get bored pitching to every single passer. By real quick, cool voice left on the second day of the expo. 2. Not everybody wants to hear your pitch. Casual punters can be put off and feel pressure to play your game. Cool playing a game you do not like for 10 minutes, just so you do not offend the overly keen developer lurking behind you. 3. Business cards are great and all for making an impression, but they can only hold so much info. Never been to a networking event, only to get home and flip through the 100 cards in your backpack, scratching your head at who the hell some of them belong to, or what their actual game was. Do not be one of those forgotten business cards. Leaflets allow people to see what a game is for themselves, without committing to play it, while the developer heavy breathes over their shoulders. Here are the key points to include on your leaflet designs. And then of course there's your business cards. How many is always a tough question. But better to get too many than not enough. You can always use them again next time. After all, I usually take about 200 cards and have plenty to spare.